the rages of the powers against each other, announcing riots and unrest. Earthly, you have little good to expect. Whatever may happen, it all serves you to perfection. And although human will carries out actions that have an earthly bad effect, although human will itself intervenes in the laws of nature and triggers reactions that have an enormous destructive effect, so also such events are included in my plan of salvation from eternity and are beneficial for your spiritual development. But it depends on you men yourselves, whether you also evaluate everything that comes, whether the spiritual perfection seems to be desirable to you, or you only merge into the earthly and then also only pay attention to the earthly effect. But then you are in a bad way, because on earth, you humans don't have much good to look forward to anymore. Because the events will be rushed, and a completely different picture will unrest and unrest among men, because a new phase begins, a raging of the powers against each other, which also earthly recognizable is. Because whether also seemingly peace is among men, the fight continues hidden to once also openly flare up to the horror of men. It is the beginning of men, but which I do not hinder, because the time of peace is also not used by men for their salvation. And that is why this time will be replaced by a time of renewed unrest and worst fears. Because the end is approaching. But whatever may come, it does not have an arbitrary effect on men, and so the ones who are mine can look forward to all events in peace. And they can believe it that I take care of them in every earthly and spiritual trouble. That I protectively spread out my hands over them, and whether a whole army of devils rages against them, I know the ones who are mine and pave all their ways, and they need not fear anything, because I watch over them. But I will also need their services in this time, because they are to testify for me, they are to tell men that the end is approaching and that they are informed by me about the coming. They are to announce me to those who are not want to believe, and openly stand up for me and my name. Because it is the last time of favor, which still remains for those who do not want to believe, to whom I still want to reveal myself through you, so that they believe, learn. That is why you are not to become anxious and fickle in the coming times, but you are only to learn the truth of my word, and the more convinced they are to stand up for it. And where there also the powers of darkness will rage around you, whether the world around you lives in unrest and terror, you are to know to be protected by the beings of light, which are around you on my behalf, and you are to always only carry out your spiritual work in peace, recommend yourselves to me and my favor, and I myself will be with you in every trouble and danger. Amen.